And before we start the video, I would like to express a big thanks and special shout out to Koons Ford of Annapolis, located in Annapolis, Maryland, for allowing me to come out and film the 2013 Honda Pilot EXL. 2013 Honda Pilot EXL. And as you can see, this one is finished off in a gray exterior with your pretty typical older styled Honda key fob. This one does not have smart key. You could not get a Pilot from this generation with smart key access. And a fun fact that we'll notice in the interior, this is actually an EXL RES. It's actually pretty rare to get that. It has the rear entertainment system in it. Here's a shot of your 5-spoke alloy wheels. These are a 18-inch. It does have a gray leather interior. Let's go ahead and step inside. Me personally, I have always liked this generation Honda Pilot. I don't really know why. I've liked this in the 2005 generation. It's a really nice car. So let's go ahead and fire this one up. Starts up beautiful. It has a 4-spoke, leather-wrapped steering wheel, as well as an automatic transmission with lower gear selection. And when you put it in reverse, you do get a backup camera. This one does have 123,000 miles. Let's go ahead, cut on the headlights, the fog lights, as well as the hazards. Both of the front windows are fully automatic. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior, shall we? I like the boxy styling of this car, and one thing I actually really remember about this car is the Crazy Train commercial. For those of you guys that haven't seen that, go look it up on YouTube. I think it's a very fascinating car commercial, very creative. This generation ran from 2009 to 2015. I actually didn't think it ran in 2015. I thought it stopped earlier than that. But no, I was wrong. This being a 13, it's the updated facelifted model. It has some different headlights as well as a front different grille. I personally like this exact car better than the 2009 because the 09 had this really strange looking grille and I didn't like it. And likewise, many other people didn't like it as well. This one does have 3 rows of seats. I will demonstrate that in a second. But, once again, I mentioned your rear entertainment system. Very rare option to find that. I believe it was a pretty expensive upgrade. This is not a touring model, so the tourings actually were more expensive by a lot. I think a couple $1,000s. This is an EXL. So this is basically just an EX with leather and a couple other features. But the leather in Hondas, I've always liked Honda leather. Soft and plush, but it's also very supportive. 12-volt cigarette style outlet, and we'll get to the rest of that in a moment. Now, once again, I've mentioned this in my other videos. Every single time I have a car that I really like, it is never safe, and it's kind of annoying because The Ford Escape Titanium. I love that car. Not this generation, but the older generation. Love that car. Nope, failed the crash test. I love the 2012 Toyota Camry. Nope, failed the crash test. Love the Honda Pilot from this generation. Nope, failed the crash test. Seriously, every single car I like has failed the crash test, and it's kind of annoying. But, you know, whatever. You just gotta hope you don't get in an accident. Obviously, it's a four-wheel drive car. Don't believe, nope, no power lift gate on this model. It kind of automatically opens up, but it does have a power closing feature. And surprisingly enough, it's got some pretty good amount of storage back here. And one thing I hate about all Hondas is that the what do you call it? A lot of cars have this as well, especially as a detailer like myself. The cloth, the carpets, is horrible. And like in the inside, like up there in the cabin, it's great. It's perfect. You know, easy to vacuum. But back here, it's this different type, and it sheds. See how it sheds? And it's horrible. It collects nothing but dirt. It's really hard to keep clean, and it's horrible. That's the only main drawback. But you can push this in, pull this up. You get a lot of storage back here, and a spare tire back here. This whole thing lifts up. It's your jack storage. And you also have a 12-volt cigarette-style outlet for the third-row passengers, or if you're like tailgating. A little hook that pulls down here. I believe some storage over here. This should be, yeah, you can have some storage in there. That's a lot of space in there. And this car's very shiny, so you'll see there's quite a few glares on it. I do apologize about that. Go ahead, step into the rear seat. I got plenty of space. This seat right here is lined up a little bit further back than the P-pillar, but this seat is all the way back, I believe. Yep, the seat's all the way back, and I have plenty of space. I got plenty of space. Back to the center control stack. Your air vents here, they are fully adjustable and closable, like so. I believe. Okay, interesting. There we go. So you turn that off. Boom. And you have all of your red, yellow, white jacks back here. 3 different headphone jacks so you can listen to the radio or listen to the movie you have. Like I mentioned, this cocks down. I don't believe we can turn it on. Let's see what we got here. I don't think it's going to do anything because I don't have a movie in. But yeah, all of your different controls up here. You can do the title setup, cancel the whole movie, you can rewind, fast forward, etc. And this one does have a sunroof. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. I don't want to spend too much time back here because it is hot as heck back here. But it's not as bad as I thought, actually. You know, I'm going to be honest, this dashboard right here is kind of interesting. I'm not a huge fan. I do like that this comes out so you can clean it. That's a good idea. And plenty of space into the glove box. And you got your original OEM Honda's owner manual and your lug jacks. Once again, you have 4 fully adjustable and closable air vents in the front of this car. Really nice sound system. AC blows nice and cold. Heat, like I mentioned, it does have dual zone climate control. It is automatic as well. Heated seats for both the front and front driver and front passenger. They have a low and high setting, and you just press to turn it off. All of your phone, Bluetooth controls, and all of your controls for the main infotainment system. Your 6-disc CD changer, USB, DVD, clock, and auxiliary. Your aux input is in here. You have a USB port, as well as an original home style outlet, a 12-volt cigarette style outlet, and right there is another USB. I do like the gauges a lot in this car. This actually used to be my old intro. I don't know, for those of you guys that have seen my channel for a long time, this actually used to be my intro, and it said, "Welcome to Honda Accord Guy" with these gauges. But, like I mentioned, 123,000 miles. Speedometer goes all the way up to 140. Your outside temperature with a little car indicator, so if the door is open, it opens right there. You guys can see that. And then turns off with the door ajar light. Your fuel gauge along on the right, your engine temperature along on the right as well. Your gears also displayed right there. Your tachometer red lines at 8,000 RPM. Sorry if it's a little bit windy, but honestly I'd rather be outside than inside. It's like 85 degrees outside and pretty miserable. So let's go ahead and step back inside. See how this one sounds. That's going to conclude our in-depth tour, walk around, startup, and exhaust clip of the 2013 Honda Pilot EXL.